Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back. After many months, we are going to be discuss, and this is a very important time to be noticed all the questions. Correct. So already we have discussed some of the important questions, which is most probable questions in the history chapter number 1, 2, 3, and 5. So from today we will start to discuss about the geography and remaining two economics and political. So you must be have an idea about all the questions, as well as you must have the practices of the questions what I am telling. So these all the questions are very important, which can help in your board exam 2026 very minutely. Okay, so now let us see some of the important questions in the resource and development chapter number 1 of geography. So in that the first question is, resource planning is essential for sustainable existence. So this question is much most important question. So whatever the questions I am going to be discuss in the video, that is all very important, but you have to take a more adequate knowledge on these questions, sufficient knowledge, sufficient information on these questions. The first question is, resource planning is essential for sustainable existence, discuss. So in this question you can give the explanation about the conservation, explanation about the sustainability, and explanation about the efficiency. Okay, this is the first question. Second, discuss the factors which are mainly responsible for land degradation in India. This is another important question. So in this question you have to explain the subtopics such like deforestation and over exploitation, unsustainable agricultural practices, water mismanagement, industrial pollution and mining, population pressure, and the urbanization. So these are the 5 important subtopics that you have to write in these questions. Okay, so once again I am repeating the questions and subtopics. Discuss the factor which are mainly responsible for land degradation in India. First subtopic, deforestation and over exploitation, unsustainable agricultural practices, water mismanagement, industrial pollution and mining. The final one, population pressure and urbanization. Okay, so these are the 5 points that you have to explain in this question very properly. Then third question, what is soil conservation? Discuss the methods to conserve the soil. So in this question you have to write the answers about the soil conservation and what are the methods that we can follow of the soil conservation. Okay, so here also we are going to give in the 5-point answers. The 5 subtopics that you have to mention in your answer sheet, it is counter plugging and tracing, crop rotation, cover cropping, mulching, afforestation, and agroforestry. So these are the 5 topics which you have to explain in these questions very properly and sincerely. Okay, so these are the 3 most important questions in geography chapter number 1. So now let us go to the geography chapter number 2, forest and wildlife resource. Write 3 steps taken by the government for conservation of wildlife. Okay, in this question you have to explain about the establishment of a protected area, enforcement of wildlife protection laws, then promotion of conservation initiatives. These 3 topics that you can explain very clearly on this question. Next question, assess the need of the conservation of the forest and wildlife in India. Okay, so this is another important question. Assess the need for the conservation of forest and wildlife in India. So in this you have to explain about the biodiversity, ecosystem services, socio-economic importance. Okay, so these 3 topics, under these 3 subtopics that you can explain very clearly about the biodiversity, about the ecosystem services, and about the socio-economic importance. Fine. So the question is, access the need for the conservation of the forest wildlife in India. The next question, what is water scarcity? Write the main reasons for water scarcity. This is a most important question. Okay, so what is water scarcity? And we have to give the reasons for the water scarcity. Okay, in this also the 5 topic that you can explain. First one is of population growth, second one is of climate change, third one is of water pollution, fourth one is of overuse and mismanagement, fifth one, the final one, geographical and seasonal variability. Okay, this is much important question about the water scarcity. So in this question you can explain these 5 subtopics very clearly. Fine students, and we are not having time to discuss much important about the answer. That is what I am just going on the questions and then subtopics. Fine. So agriculture, in the agriculture chapter, agriculture gives boost to the industrial sector. Justify the statement with any 3 relevant points. In this you can explain about raw material supply, demand for machinery and technology, value addition through processing. Okay, so these 3 points you can explain on this question. Agriculture gives boost to the industrial sector. Justify the statement with any 3 relevant points. First point, raw material supply. Second point, demand for the machinery and technology. The third point, value addition through processing. Got it? Next, the next question is, next most important question, write 3 drawbacks of green revolution. So here you have to write or mention about the 3 drawbacks of the green revolution. Okay, so you know better about the green revolution. Okay, so in this green revolution you have to write the 3 important points. One is of environmental degradation, social inequalities. For third one, economic dependency. Okay, the first one, environmental degradation. Second one, social inequalities. Third one, economic dependency. Okay, so these 3 you can explain in the drawbacks of the green revolution. Then the next question is about what are the institutional reforms. Enlist various institutional reforms taken by the Indian government to bring about the importance in agriculture. The next question, once again I am reading, what are the institutional reforms? Enlist various institutional reforms taken by the Indian government to bring about improvements in agriculture. So in this you can explain about the land reforms, credit facilities, market reforms, price support, technology and services. Okay, so these 5 subtopics you have to mention and explain very clearly on the question, what are institutional reforms. Okay, the next important question, which fiber crop is called as the golden fiber? Which is the most important region of its growth and why? Give one major reason why it is losing the market now. Okay, so this is another important question, which crop is known as a golden fiber, that is we know the jute. So in that jute you have to write which is the most important region of its growth and reason why. Give one major reason why it is losing the market value at present. Okay, this is another important question. Then the next chapter, that is of mineral and energy resources. So in this some few important questions are there. Why do you think that solar energy has a bright future in India? Why do you think that solar energy has a bright future in India? So in this question you may explain 3 important subtitles, that is of abundant solar potential, government support, cost competitives. Okay, competitives. These 3 are the subtopics that you can explain very clearly. One is of abundant solar potential, government support, third one cost competitiveness. These all the 3 are very very important on these questions. Why do you think that solar energy has a bright future in India? Next question, Minerals are a indispensable part of our lives. Support the statement with the examples. Okay, so here you have to discuss about the minerals are indispensable part of our life. Why the minerals are very very important in our life. So in this also you are having three subtopics. The topics are infrastructure development, manufacturing and technology, health and nutrition. So these three topics that you can explain very clearly on this question. Minerals are indispensable part of our life. Support the statement with the example. Then the next important question, there is an urgent need to develop a sustainable path of energy development. Give two broad measures for it. As concerned citizen, how can you help to the conserve energy? So in this question, importance of the conservation of the energy you have to write. So in this question you can explain about the transition of the renewable energy resources. Then second point, energy efficiency improvements. These 2 points very simple explanations that you can give. The next important question, why is conservation of mineral resources essential? Explain the methods to conserve them. Okay, so why we have to conserve the minerals, and we have to give some of the explaining the method. What are the methods to conserve the minerals? Okay, first one is of recycling, second one is efficient extraction, third one is substitution, fourth one is urban mining, fifth one is policy and regulations. Okay, this is a most very important question, dear students. So you must have a look on this question. Why is conservation of mineral resources is essential? Explain the methods to conserve them. Okay, then the last chapter, manufacturing industries. In this also we have a very few important questions that also I am telling. How does industrial pollution degrade environment? Okay, so how does industrial pollution degrade environment? So in this you can explain about the air pollution, water pollution and soil pollution. Okay, then the next question, give 3 reasons why the iron and steel industries are called the basic industries. Why these iron and steel industries are known as basic industries? For that you have to give the answer. The 3 point you will explain for this question. One is of fundamental raw material, second one is of support for economic development, third one is a strategic importance. Okay, so these are 3 very very important subtopics that you have to mention on the reasons why the iron and steel industries are called the basic industries in India. Okay, then the next question, the economic strength of the country is measured by the development of manufacturing industries. Support the statement with the arguments. So once again I am reading, the economic strength of the country is measured by the development of manufacturing industries. Okay, so for this question you have to explain with them 5 points. So that contribution of GDP, gross domestic product. Okay, contribution to GDP. Second, employment generation, வேலை வாய்ப்பை எப்படி உருவாக்கலாம். Technological advancement. Fourth one, export potential. Then the fifth one, infrastructure development. Okay, so this is also another important question on a manufacturing industry. So these are the very very important question in a geography, all the 6th chapter. Okay, so very soon we will share the questions on the political. Okay, so till now, bye bye.